All right, I have cut out 34. This is piece 34 and piece 35. Oops, it's tiny. 35. And they go like this. Oops, it looks like I might have missed a sequin right there. I think I'm going to have to go back and pick that up. And they are going to be on the stocking right here. And it doesn't really give a marking for the end of the leg. It looks like it ends about flush with the bottom of the rug here, because if I line it up correctly with this line right here, and I cover all the black lines on the rug, then I end up right there. So that's where I'm going to pin it. I am going to stitch down here and down this side. This piece doesn't go on yet. And then it says to stuff it. So you can imagine this is going to be stuffed pretty lightly. So I'll stuff it from the free side over here and then stitch that side closed. Then it says, it also says to stuff this one. So I can imagine that I'm going to go around kind of the curved side, leave this straight side open, or anyway, kind of other side, and stuff just a little bit of stuffing in there. It will be literally a tiny, tiny bit of stuffing. So let me take care of that and then come back and show you what it looks like and start on the next step. Okay, here you can see that the leg is stuffed lightly, and that little decorative piece also, and stitched down. And so we can check off this sequin stuff and applique the table leg pieces 34 and 35 to the stocking. And now we're ready. It says to embroider, stuff, and applique the front of the cattail 36 to the back 37. Attach the tail to the stocking with a few small stitches. Let's see, what kind of embroidery does it call for on the tail? It looks like it's got these little V's. So let's see, what are those? Those are dark gray. 2 strands of dark gray. Okay, so we're going to look for a tail. Pieces number 36 and 37. We're going to cut those out and do the dark gray with 2 strands of outline stitch embroidery, and then stitch those 2 pieces together back to back. Okay, here they are. 37 and 36. Okay, we're going to cut these out carefully, and then we are going to dark gray outline stitch these. Or remember, I outline stitch so that it's like a smile, and then I'll come over here and outline stitch these 2, and then we'll put them back to back and stitch them together, and I'll come back when we are ready to attach them to the stocking right here. Okay, here's the tail. I have embroidered the outline stitch with the dark gray. I have stitched the 2 pieces together along this edge, and now I'm ready to add a little bit of stuffing in the tail there. Again, it won't be much. This piece is very small. I think that's probably more than I want. Let's see if that seems like it will close. Oops. I use my needle quite a bit to adjust stuffing and where it is, and to try to tuck in a lot of those little hairs that seem to just really stand out all the time. I think it looks like that's gonna work. I do want to stick a pin over here in the end to hold that in there. Pins work just as good as needles as far as tucking in the stray hairs. And then I'll just stitch this close here. There we go. And now, since this is a piece where the back just might show a little bit, and after I do my knots right here on the edge, I'm going to go to the back and put my needle in and come out somewhere farther down the way, like that, embed that tail in there, and then I can trim it off flush. And I don't have a knot that will show on either side. So that's that little trick. And now we are going to put the tail on the stocking right here. And we do have some lines, so I may have to do a couple of tacking stitches, but mostly I'm going to stitch right across here. I'm just going to stitch kind of right next to that outline stitch that we did. And I think more of the tail will be tacked down a little more when we add his body. But because of this line right here that's very visible, I'm going to just add a few stitches to tack that down so that that stitching line is not visible. That's two. Okay, I'll take one more right here, and then I'll fasten it off in the back. And that keeps his tail, the end free, but hides all of those indicator lines. Okay. All right, let's see what is next. All right, so we can mark that off. And it says embroider stuff and applique the cat body number 38 to the stocking. So let's see what is indicated as embroidery on the cat's body. Oh, it looks like more of these V's, which were just like the tail. So they're going to be the dark gray outline stitch. And that's pretty much what we've been doing all along. So here is the gray. Here it is. Here's his body, number 38. So it looks like we're going to have outline stitch here on his paws and here. And then we're going to outline stitch this as his back leg. And that's it. So I will go ahead and do all of that and come back and show you when that's done, and show you how we're gonna put it here on the stocking. Okay. Well, I guess it's appropriate that Finnegan has joined us again, since we're working on the cat. It is a gray cat. Look how much it looks like him. No stripes, but it looks like him. So anyway, I have done the outline stitch here on the leg and all three paws. Oh, thanks, Vinny. His tail just knocked everything off. And now it is time to place the cat on the stocking right over here, which you cannot see. I'm going to have to move the real cat. Yep. All right, real cat. Okay. Now we're back in business here. So the cat belongs right here. And again, no. We're going to need to line up our lines here. This is going to be for his head. And these are the lines for the table leg. And those look like they're all lined up pretty well, and we've covered. I want to make sure that we have covered the white lines that indicate for him. So I think my decision is that I'm going to stitch him down around this bottom edge from kind of here to here, over here, and then I should be able to stuff him pretty well like that. So that's my plan, and I'll be back when I am ready for stuffing. Okay, so we embroidered, stuffed, and appliqued the cat body number 38 to the stocking. So let me show you that. Here it is. I give him a fair amount of stuffing because we want him to look like a nice, happy, fat cat, kind of like Finnegan. And so I did that, and now it looks like, and I just wanted to point out, see how the stocking is kind of beginning with all of these appliques and these stuffings and things. The stocking can begin to get a little ripply on the edges and things like that. But I want you to not worry about that, because when we apply the back, that will all get evened out, and it will not be an issue or a problem. So no worries, no stress on the fact that, the toe of your stocking might be a little ripply or up here on the edge. No worries. We're going to take care of that when we apply the back. So our next step is, it looks like we're going to sequin stuff and applique the other table leg, which is 39 and 40 to the stocking. And since that is going to go right here, sorry, microphone in the way. That's going to go right here, and it does end up going on top of the cat, so he's kind of under the table here. So that's why we're going, I think, back and forth between working on the table, working on the cat, but that's okay. That's kind of breaks it up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that table leg just like this table leg. I won't do that on camera, but I will come back and show you what it looks like. But it'll be the same process. We'll cut it out, we'll add the sequins, we'll sew up the side without the sequins, and then stuff a little bit of stuffing in there and stitch the other side down, and then put this the little bulbous decoration right there. That also gets a tiny bit of stuffing. It takes so little. And I'll come back and show it to you when we're done. Okay? There we go. There are the two table legs with our cat laying underneath it. And so we can check off, got some strings all over the place here, check off sequin stuff 39 and 40. Now it says embroider the back of the cat head 41, and then embroider, stuff, and applique the front of the cat head 42 to the back, and then attach the cat head to the stocking with several small stitches. So let's see what they're talking about here on these pieces. Okay, here's 41 and 42. They're so cute. Very close together there. Okay. And I suspect this is going to be a satin stitch right there. Let's see what that's going to be. It looks like it's the white. It looks like it is this. Yes, it's a satin stitch with 2 strands of pink for right here inside the ears, and it also says it's the same satin stitch here on the nose, and then the eyelashes and the mouth are going to be 1 strand of black, and that's the outline stitch. And then we've got these boxes here, squares. I think that they're this one, that the white. Let me look at the picture and see if I can see it clear enough. Yeah, it looks like they're white. They are, it looks like they're this white straight stitch, 2 strands of white straight stitch. So we'll have this is white straight stitch, this hit the mouth here, and this line, and the eyes are going to be 1 single strand of black outline stitch, and then this and this and this are going to be the pink satin stitch. And remember, when we do the satin stitch, we're going to do like we did on the others, start in the center and work our way to one side, and then come back to the center and work our way to the other, both on that and same with the nose. We're going to start right here in the center and work our way to this side, and then come back to center and work our way to this edge. Okay, so I will come back and show you when I have them cut out and embroidered. I've just put a little bit of stuffing inside the head, and I have attached it about 3/4 of the way around, and so now I'm just closing up. So now I'm just closing up where I inserted the stuffing in the kitty's head, and I am going to give it the same kind of knot that I did the tail, where I knot it here on the edge and then slide the needle through, and I'm able to trim it off flush there on the back. And there's the kitty's face. So we need to attach it to the stocking right there. Isn't that sweet? And it says to just use a few stitches. I want to look at the picture and see if the head has any kind of an angle to it, or anything here. No, it looks pretty straight on, but you definitely just use about 4, maybe 5 stitches around the outside of the head, making sure to leave the ears free. So let me get a knot back in my light gray thread here. So I'm being very careful to be sure that I keep the ears free and loose so they can be kind of perked up, although kitties don't usually perk up their ears when they're sleeping, which it looks like this little one is. Just going in and out with some large stitches, kind of just tacking the head down here. And then I will tie it off on the back right there. And that does cover all of the black lines all the way around, and make sure that his head is secure, but that his ears are free. Okay. And so that's what it looks like. It's a very sweet little napping kitty cat there. I have one behind me on my other table too. Okay, so now we can check off the cat's head. Now it says embroider, sequin, stuff, and applique the table 43 to the stocking. So I believe that's the tabletop of the stocking. And 43, yes. So it's going to have brown sequins just like the legs, and it looks like it's going to have dark brown. Those lines indicate the darker brown, and that's going to be the outline stitch. 2 strands, just double check it here. 2 strands of dark brown outline stitch. Okay, so I think this is the tabletop. So I just need to cut it out. There's a few lines here and a few lines here, and then these lines here, this one here and here, will also be outline stitch with the embroidery, and then we'll add a few sequins here, and then it'll be time to attach it. So I'll show it to you there before I get it pinned on and attach it. Here is the tabletop. It's got all of its outline embroidery here and the sequins, and it needs to be applied right here. It also gets some stuffing. So to me, it makes most sense for me to stitch around the edges here, leaving open this section that's right here by the edge of the stocking, and be able to stuff it in there. This will be, in fact, I think I'm going to stuff the back of it because I want this to be stuffed. I want this to be stuffed, but I do want it to be stuffed flat. I don't really want it to have puffiness. Who's seen a puffy table? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I think I'm going to do it like this, where I've got the stuffing pretty much all flat. It's hard to get it really flat like this when you're shoving it in. So this, I think, is the best solution. And then just making sure that I get the stuffing tucked in and not sticking out, and then stitching it down where it needs to go. I think they just want the table to seem, three-dimensional and not too flat, and that's why the top gets a little stuffing. And then this, of course, will be whip stitched all the way around here, this bit that's on the edge of the stocking. So we'll just use the red brown and stitch it all the way around, and that will be piece number 43. Then it looks like we're working on this piece number 44 will be next. So we've got the table and the cat done. Let's get what goes on the table done and see how far we get. All right, there's the table. That is finished, and the next piece is this 44, and it says it's the dough. So let's see. Yeah, it's this piece right here. It's kind of on this flesh colored bit here. It looks like it has something that goes on top of it. So it just simply says applique the cookie dough to the stocking. So we're just going to cut it out and stitch around, and then we'll get on with the next piece, which is the rolling pin. I see that's what's going to go, I guess right there is the rolling pin. Okay, I'll be back once I have the dough on the table. Okay, there is the dough, and it's just stitched down, cut out, stitched down, simple as can be. So we can check that off. Okay, the dough is here, stitched out and or cut and stitched on, so we can check that off. And now it says stuff and applique the front of the rolling pin handle number 46 to the back number 47. Applique the handle to the back of the rolling pin number 45. Okay, so let's take it one step at a time. Stuff and applique the front of the rolling pin handle 46 to the back 47. So I think that is this light color. Okay, so that's these two, 46 and 47. We're going to cut those out and stuff and applique the front. The front is 46 where it's got the line, and the back is 47, this plain one. So we're going to cut them out, stitch them together about halfway, put some stuffing in there, and then finish stitching it together. And then we'll go to the next step. Okay, we did stuff and applique the front of the rolling pin handle 46 right here. Stick my needle in it. 46 to the back 47. Applique the handle to the back of the rolling pin number 45. So that's right here. So we need to cut this out, and it looks like we're going to applique it right here. As you can see, I finished stitching, but I did not tie off my thread, so I'll be able to use that to applique that right there. So let's cut that out. In these directions, when you get a section where there's quite a few directions and you read it all and think, oh my goodness, I don't know. I really don't know what all that means. That's when I go through and I start step by step, stuff and applique the front of the rolling pin handle 46 to the back of the rolling pin to the back of the handle 47. Okay, got that done, and then I check just that piece off. Now I see that we're going to applique the handle to the back of the rolling pin number 45, and I can work on just that section, because trust me, even though I've done what feels like sometimes a million of these stockings, I can still be confused and not understand the directions. So don't feel like you're alone in that. Don't feel like, oh, that means you shouldn't be doing this. That's not the case at all. Sometimes it just means we have to take a step back and figure something new out. Okay, I'll be back when I have this cut out and when I've attached the little handle, and we'll see what's next. Okay, there is piece 45 cut out, and as you can see, I have attached that handle there, so it is right there. So we can check that bit off. Now it says to embroider, stuff, and applique the front of the rolling pin 48 to the back. Okay, so embroider, stuff, and applique the front of the rolling pin 48. So let's go with that. Here it is. And it says that these are outline stitches, I know. And I believe that we are using, you've got triangles. We're using the red brown. So that's going to be not, let's see, not this dark brown. Sorry. That's going to be not this dark brown, but this red brown. And we're going to use 2 strands of that. Yep, and the outline stitch. And that's what we are going to do right here on these lines. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, get the embroidery done, and then we'll check back in to attach it to the other piece right here so that you can see how that's going to go. It looks like we're going to attach and stuff. It looks like we're also going to use, if I remember right, yes, we're going to use a single black strand, and we're going to do an outline stitch right along there with black. The rest of these lines will be the red brown. So I'll be back when I've got that done to show you. And what am I sewing that with? That's right, this one.